All right, good morning. It's Councillor Glen. It is Saturday, the 18th of February. This morning I'm at Joe Louis Park. This is in the Potters Quay neighborhood. It's on Eagle Crest Heights. You can access that off of Overland. And this is another one of our Stittsville community rinks. So thanks again to all the volunteers who are working hard to maintain the rinks. It's been a really difficult year with the ups and downs in temperature. The ice is pretty good today. It's a little bit rough, understandably, with some of the weird weather we've had this week. But if you're looking for some place to skate this weekend, check out the rink here at Joe Louis Park. I can also hear a woodpecker. So Joe Louis Park is situated between Eagle Crest Road and the Feed Mill Creek. And there's a number of pine trees and birch trees and other trees, some maple trees perhaps as well. And I can hear a woodpecker off in the distance there. It's a really nice place to come for a walk. This was one of the parks that was actually hit pretty hard during the storm back in May. And it does look pretty bare this year compared to last year. Anyhow, I wanted to start actually on a really, really serious note. Earlier this week, there was some racist graffiti that was reported along Abbott Street, kind of near the Amberwood, Forest Creek area. Some hateful graffiti targeted at people in the Jewish community. And I just want to reiterate how unacceptable that is in any community, including Stittsville. It has been reported to police, and police pursue these types of incidents as a hate crime. And I would encourage residents, if you see anything like that in the community, please report it to police. Let my office know as well. And racism and hate have absolutely no place here in Stittsville. And please, as residents, stand up against that anytime you may encounter it. Unfortunately, it's something that affects our community. I want to tell you about some upcoming events. I want to tell you about what's happening at City Hall. I want to tell you about what's happening in our community here in Stittsville. I want to start with an event that's coming up on March the 7th. It's the start of my Councillor Speaker series. And our first guest speaker, March the 7th, is Elie Nesrallah. Now, Elie has recently written a book. He's written several books, but his most recent one is called Gates and Walls. And it's stories from his career as an immigration consultant. Some really fascinating stories. I actually just finished reading the book last night. Stories of heartbreak, stories of love, the difficulties and the adventures that bring people from other countries here into Canada. And Elie is going to be doing some readings from his book at the library on March 7th. Spaces are limited, admission is free, but you do have to register. So go to my website and you'll see a link for registration. That's at glengower.ca. At City Hall, a lot of the discussion that I was involved in this week was about a Transportation Safety Board letter that the city released about the wheel axles. And this is related to the derailments that happened over a year ago. Was it a year? Yeah, I think it was over a year ago. And some of their root cause analysis. And a lot of questions as to whether or not the trains are safe. And thankfully, yes, they are. There are a number of mitigation measures, some extra inspections that are being done, some new procedures, and some monitoring equipment that OC Transpo has added to the trains and to the procedures around the launch of the trains and the inspections of the trains and maintenance of the trains to ensure that the trains are safe. And I want to give you an analogy. This is one that was shared with me quite a while ago by a transit expert. Think about a bicycle. A bicycle could be a very unsafe vehicle, but if there's air in your tires and the chain's well oiled and the brakes are properly calibrated and you're wearing a helmet and you're driving safely and following the rules of the road, a bicycle is a very safe activity. Just like a car. If your car is not well maintained, if you're not wearing a seatbelt, it can be very dangerous. If you take the right steps to ensure safety, a car can be a relatively safe activity. It's the same thing with transportation, with trains, with planes, and so on. And so OC Transpo has taken the right steps to make sure they're mitigating the safety risk that is there. And they're continuing to work on even more measures to ensure there's a long-term fix to those wheels and any other safety recommendations coming from the Transportation Safety Board would obviously be implemented. Important to note too, the Transportation Safety Board did not recommend that the trains be taken out of service. I think that's important to mention as well. So they do continue in service. And since I believe it was early early summer 2022, there have been no issues related to the wheels that have caused any kind of interruption to the passenger service. So that's good too. Okay, moving on. I want to say thank you to everyone who participated in our budget Q&A on Monday evening with Cyril Rogers, the Chief Financial Officer for the City of Ottawa. Thanks for all the questions. It is on my YouTube channel, so check out my YouTube channel. You can watch the 1-hour Q&A about the budget. Thanks for all the questions. If you have any questions or comments or feedback about the budget, email me, glen.gower@ottawa.ca. I'd be happy to get you those answers and read your feedback. You might have noticed there's a lot of potholes with the changing weather, going cold and warm and rain and so on. There's a lot of potholes on the streets. If you see one, don't call my office, call 311. That's the fastest way to get a pothole report in, and crews are going around and filling those. I saw one out, I think on Wednesday or Thursday in our community, so they are out there. It is coyote mating season, and we've had a few coyote sightings in our community recently. Very, very common along places like Feedmill Creek and Pool Creek and in some of the open fields and so on. This is the time of year where you're going to see a lot of coyotes. Normally not a cause for concern, but if you do see a coyote that's acting in an unusual way or is not afraid of humans, again, call 311 so that we can dispatch our bylaw and our animal control officers, and they can track any incidents that are of concern. I mentioned this last week, but I'll mention it again. The Kiwanis Club of Stittsville, Canada is going to be opening a youth homework drop-in center soon, and we're looking for volunteers to help out. You don't need any experience. Maybe if you do have experience as a tutor or teacher, that'd be great, but basically we're just looking for adult volunteers who can help to supervise. So if you'd like to help, please email my office and we'll put you in touch with the organizers at Kiwanis. Really good initiative to be a partnership with the Stittsville Legion as well, which is great. On Thursday evening, I dropped by to wish the Goulbourn Skaters good luck as they head to the Synchro Skating Nationals in Calgary, and they're bringing with them a City of Ottawa flag. They've brought this flag. I think this will be the 4th Nationals that they've brought this flag to, so it's a really great tradition, and I'm sure they'll represent our city well. It is Family Day on Monday. We are hosting a skate on February 20th. Registration is full, so it's great. Thank you to everybody who's registered. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. But there's lots of other activities happening around Ottawa, including at the rink at City Hall downtown. The mayor is hosting a Family Day skate. I believe it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Down at the Rink of Dreams at City Hall, which is great. On February 23rd, it's Kids Vaccine Day, so it's a good opportunity to check, make sure your kids are up to date on their vaccines. More information about that at ottawapublichealth.ca. Today from 10 to 3 at the Stittsville Legion, there's a Stittsville Craft and Vendor Market. So if you're looking for something indoors today, that's a great idea. On Friday, February 24th at 6 p.m. on Parliament Hill, there's a vigil to mark 1 year since Russia invaded Ukraine and the start of the war. And I have one other suggestion for you this weekend. I was speaking yesterday with Executive Director of Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa. They've opened a new thrift store, a high-end thrift store on Merivale Road at the Emerald Plaza. And it's a fundraising activity, fundraising initiative for Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa. And so if you're someone who likes to thrift and you're looking for something a little different than usual, check out the Big Brothers Thrive at Emerald Plaza. Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Great idea. All right, it's a little chilly today, but it's going to get warmer. I hope you get a chance to get outside today, go skating on one of our community rinks, maybe some snowshoeing or skiing or tobogganing or just a walk around the neighborhood, explore your neighborhood, explore some of our local shops and services, maybe on Stittsville Main Street. And I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you here next Saturday. Take care.